Approximately 1:14 a.m. today, the Plymouth Police received a call for shots fired at 7 Cortelli Court in Plymouth. Police responded and found 2 male victims outside that location. They were bleeding heavily and suffering from apparent gunshot wounds. The 2 victims were taken to an area hospital. 1 victim was transported to a Boston Medical Center where he was subsequently pronounced dead. The deceased victim in this case has been identified as James Tigges, Tigges, date of birth 10/26/86 of Abington. The second victim has been identified, who is Jackson Duncan, date of birth 11/13/92 of Plymouth. He was also transported to a Boston area hospital. He's alive, but he's in critical condition. This case is currently under investigation by the state police assigned to the district attorney's office and the Plymouth Police Department. With me today is Chief Boucher of the Plymouth Police. Plymouth police officers and state police are currently working on this case as we speak. At some point today or tomorrow, there will be an autopsy on the victim in this case of James Tigges. In addition to that, other work is going on as we currently speak. As a result of the work and the investigation of the police, right now there is an individual by the name of Richard M. Boucher Jr., that is Boucher, who is wanted in connection with the homicide that occurred last evening at approximately 1:14 on Cortelli Court in Plymouth. He currently has warrants in the warrant management system for murder, armed assault with intent to murder, and possession of a firearm without an FID card. Boucher is described as a male, approximately 5'7" tall, with bushy hair. He is estimated to be approximately 165 pounds. He is an individual who we are currently looking for now for the homicide and the shooting last night. He should be considered armed and dangerous. The Plymouth Police, in conjunction with the state police, are working very hard to apprehend him as soon as possible. I'm going to let Chief Boucher make a couple comments to you at this point, but I want to commend the Plymouth Police, the state police, and the local officials who are working together in a very challenging time to make sure that we can get the individual or individuals who are involved in this shooting. Chief?
I'd like to emphasize the fact that this is not a random act of violence. These people knew each other, and I'm very confident that we will have the suspect in custody in a short period of time. Would ask that people be vigilant in the area of North Plymouth and call us with any information you might have on the suspect.
We are also going to be handing out posters with his picture to anybody that wants them. We would ask that they be distributed by the media until this individual is captured or apprehended of this individual who we're alleging has committed this act. We'll answer questions as best we can right now, but once again, this event occurred 11 hours ago, and there's a lot of work going on as we speak.
What was the motive here?
Well, the motive right now is still part of the investigation, and we'll come to a conclusion at that when we've done the end of the work.
The suspect, where is he from, and any past history with him?
The suspect, the last known address that we have is Kingston, and I'd say at this point it's fair to say that he has an involvement in the court system.
We were told this morning that this was a fight that started over a stolen beer.
That's part of our investigation right now, and when we get to the end of the investigation, we'll be able to let you know more at that time.
How old is Boucher?
Boucher his date of birth is 11/4/91.
Was this at a residence? Was it a party? Or is there anything at all you can tell us about the setting?
All I can tell you is it's a residential area down at that area, and the individuals were gathered there at approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, is my understanding.
Were there a large group of people at this house?
I don't know how many people were there.
Was the shooting inside or outdoors?
My understanding is that the shooting is outside.
So you don't know if there were a lot of other folks around who saw what had happened?
Well, we're looking into who saw what and making sure we get the information that we need to get.
How can we help in the identification process? Does he have a tattoo? Is there something that...
Yeah, what I've got is right here. Any other information that I currently have would be happy to give out, but I don't have any information as pertains to tattoos or if he has piercings or things such as that.
Is that a mugshot from a previous arrest?
That is a photo that we were able to gather from a local police department.
If someone comes across this individual, what should they do?
They should contact either the Plymouth Police or the Massachusetts State Police, 508-326-8685 or 508-830-4218, extension 205. If anybody sees this individual, we would ask that they notify the police rather than approach him on your own.
Did any of these people live at Cortelli Court, or they were just gathered, because their addresses are
Yeah.
on Cortelli Court.
Yeah, no, I don't know who was actually living there at the time of this event, but that'll be part of the investigation. But you're right, the individuals, the two victims of this did not live there, were not from that area.
Is there a vehicle involved that you may be looking for as well?
We don't have information on that at this point.
How about a weapon? Have you recovered a weapon?
A weapon has not been recovered.
You say he's known to authorities, does he have a history of violence?
I think that's a fair statement.
The weapon believed to be a handgun.
The weapon is believed to be a handgun,
Do
yes.
you know what type yet?
We're not sure yet. We're going to continue to wait for the ballistics to come back on that.
Was there any spent shell casings?
There are shell casings, and those have been recovered, but the weapon has not been recovered.
How many shell cases?
I'm not saying at this time.
I think you had mentioned that they maybe knew each other, or can you tell us anything about the relationship between these two men?
I think it's fair to say. I think it's fair to say that they did know each other. As to the extent of their involvement or their knowledge of each other, I don't have that information yet.
Do you care to elaborate on the background of Mr. Boucher?
I'd say that in this case, the facts as we currently understand them, coming forward and saying that people, if they see this individual, should approach us, in light of the fact that a weapon was not recovered, we consider that a very serious situation that we currently find ourselves in.
Did he leave in a vehicle, or you don't know that?
We don't have that information at this point.
So should people be concerned because you have a guy with a weapon who is trying to run from you people, and he's clearly in the area or somewhere, and he has a weapon, and he's in a desperate situation? So shouldn't people in Plymouth be concerned right now that their safety is in jeopardy?
I think you should always be concerned. Having said that, this does not appear to be a random act. This is not that they walked up to random groups of individuals. But you should always be concerned, and that's why we're trying to get the information out as best as we can, as soon as we can, and would ask for the help of the media to get that out.
Chief, the community in this area, could you describe the community for us?
Well, North Plymouth area, it's an older community. It's one of the, has an excellent neighborhood watch group in that area, and we're very active with them. We've been in contact with them, and we try to let them know what's going on. But as the DA mentioned, you should always be vigilant. We're concerned that he's not in custody. Yeah, we'd rather have him in custody, absolutely. So people should be vigilant, and after today's press conference, you're able to have a photograph of the suspect. So we're hoping people, if they see anything, they'll call right away and let us know, let us handle it.
Have you had any problems in the Cortelli Court before, Chief?
Cortelli Court, it's an area where people hang out, and we've been there on several occasions. Nothing like this.
He was born 1191, he's a teenager. Do you know of any prior convictions, or can you talk about prior convictions in the juvenile system that would give us some indication as to who we're dealing with, if he had, A and B, if he's dangerous?
Yeah, I mean, I can't talk about the individual's record at this point. I would say that we are familiar with him. That there are, certainly his record would be one that we're concerned about, which is part and parcel as to why we're doing this way.
Okay, so you got prior history, you've got what happened last night, you got a gun, you add it all up together, and this is a dangerous guy right now.
I think that it's fair to say that we want people to be vigilant, and we want people, if they see him, to come forward and give us that information. But having said that, once again, that this is not just a random shooting. This is a situation where individuals knew each other.
Does he have any active warrants unrelated to this case?
My understanding is he does.
Is he on probation or parole?
It's my understanding he's on probation. Yeah.
Was there an exchange of gunfire between the victims and the suspect, or was it just a one?
I'm not aware of that, but once again, this thing is still under investigation right now, but we're not aware of any exchange of gunfire at this point. As far as we know right now, there was just an exchange of gunfire from one person at two people.
And do you have a lot of witnesses, because people are hanging out